Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. The parents of a missing Madison County girl were scared to death their daughter would not come home alive.
But luckily, 3-year-old Eden Hines was found safe after wandering away from her home. LEX 18's Lee Searcy talked to her parents soon after they brought the little girl home, and she has more in tonight's big story at 6.
When the minutes turned into hours, Katie and Clinton Hines began to lose hope.
I was certain. I was completely certain she was gone.
They tell you after, what, 3 hours that you're not supposed to have any chance left, and it had been 14 hours.
Her 3-year-old Eden lost for hours on a mountain in the cold, wet rain.
We thought she was in the creek.
Eden was going to a picnic with her family Sunday when she wandered off. Just like that, she disappeared. Then, from out of nowhere, an army of search crews scouring the area looking for Eden.
They said, "Your daughter's missing, what can we do?"
Around 3:30 this morning, a clue. Searchers found an insole from Eden's boot that matched her twin sister's. An hour later, the tired, muddy little girl was located 2 miles from her home. Mom and Dad reunited with her at UK Hospital.
She was smiling, she was laughing. She was really muddy, and she was scraped up, but she was totally normal.
Fine. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I was holding her again because I was certain she was gone.
Despite all Eden went through,
the first thing she said to us is if we could go to the picnic now.
She wanted to go to the picnic.
For now, she's resting at home. Her parents forever grateful of a community that reunited them.
Berea and Madison County came together and they found our baby, and that's...
Covering the news in Madison County, Lee Searcy, LEX 18 News.
And take a look at these pictures of little Eden. Her mother just sent LEX 18 these photos taken at the hospital earlier today. She's smiling despite those 14 hours. Welcome home, Eden.
We have been tracking rain yesterday, last night, into today, and that rain beginning to diminish some now as we've gone through the last couple of hours here. We still have a few light sprinkles and light showers. Clark County back into Mount Sterling, a little more heavier rain. Owensville up to Moorhead, Frenchburg, Beattyville, Campton, you're all getting in on some rain at this point. Another batch runs from Harrodsburg to Bergen back to 11 and there along Highway 68. You also zip down around Hyden, and the heavier showers have just crossed 119. That's pretty close to the actual cold front getting ready to move into Virginia. So there are your showers here at 7 o'clock on the future track. A lingering little sprinkle certainly can't be ruled out this evening. We're going to start to try and dry things out, although it's kind of a clammy feel through the night. Your day tomorrow, clouds to the south, a little bit more in the way of sunshine to the north. As we continue through the day, those clouds start trying to wobble back north as well. We work our way then into the latter part of the day tomorrow, and it ends up just being a chilly one for us. Cold air continues pressing east. You can see Pikeville now down to 61. It's 58 in London, 56 Jackson. Frankfort, Lexington, we each sit at 53. Your day tomorrow begins brisk with temperatures in the upper 30s. Stays cool throughout, but at least we get some sunshine back. We talk about frost this week in a couple of minutes.
The sun will help. Thank you, Bill. Knox County public school officials say the man killed in an accident this morning in Barberville was a teacher and a crucial part of their family. The assistant Lynn Camp High School football coach died when his car collided with a semi on Cumberland Gap Parkway in front of Walmart about 6:30 this morning. LEX 18's Tiffany Jackson has the story.
A dreary Monday morning matching the somber feeling in Barberville. This wrecked car belonged to a teacher who was driving to school this morning but never made it.
Not only did the students know him well, but also his co-workers. So it's very hard for the principal, for his colleagues, and just, an unexpected death.
Brian Justice worked at the Knox County Learning Academy.
The Learning Academy is to get those students who need some extra help to get back on track, so he worked very well with the kids.
The principal of the school was too shaken by the loss to go on camera, but spoke on how vital Justice was, saying, quote, Brian's most important role was overseeing our dropout prevention program, working one-on-one with our most at-risk students. There are many students who, without him, would have never been able to graduate high school, end quote.
When you're in that small of a building, in that small of a school, and working on one-on-one that close, it makes things just like a family.
The district had extra counselors on hand for the staff and students.
They may act differently or something, and just, provide emotional support.
Covering the news in Knox County, Tiffany Jackson, LEX 18 News.
After 4 days of testimony from witnesses, victims, and experts, the fate of 4 men charged in connection with the shooting that led to 15-year-old Trinity Gay's death is in the hands of the jury. LEX 18's Carolina Buchek is live at the courthouse.
The judge sent the jury to start deliberating at 4:22 today, but earlier, for 4 days, the jurors heard from 25 different witnesses. They saw and heard 135 different pieces of evidence. But in this murder trial, one thing is still unclear: who actually shot and ultimately killed Trinity Gay. Now, prosecutors say it's really not clear what the answer is, but they are trying Chaz Ray Taylor for murder because they believe he opened fire first. In closing arguments, prosecutors said Chaz caused the chaotic shootout. They say his son DeMarquio, Lamonte Williams, and Devontae Middlebrooks also opened fire, and someone's bullet hit and killed Trinity Gay. Now, the defense isn't even arguing that the defendants didn't fire shots. They all say they did it, but everyone claims they did it to protect themselves after they heard a different shot. Now, Chaz's lawyer said police are pinning this murder on him.
But they were desperate to charge someone, anyone, and they settled on Chaz.
Now, in addition to that murder charge, the jury will also have to come up with verdicts for 16 other wanton endangerment charges. That's amongst all 4 of those defendants. This jury has a lot of work to do, and they will be here very late tonight. Covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX 18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
Police have made an arrest in an early morning shooting outside a Lexington strip club. Just before 7:15, officers were called to the parking lot of Platinum Dolls off East New Circle Road, where they found an unidentified man suffering from a gunshot wound to the face. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. 24-year-old Austin Schuler has been charged with first-degree assault.
A Bell County radio station is trying to piece together who forced their radio tower to come crashing down, temporarily cutting off all broadcasts on their AM and FM radio stations.
Tonight, the owner says he's heartbroken that his recently voted #1 radio station could be off the air for several months. Alexa Helwig has the story.
Frank Smith's radio business literally came crashing down yesterday afternoon.
When I got to the skyline where I could see the tower, it wasn't available, and I knew something then was wrong.
This tower that used to sit 160 feet tall in the air could broadcast WFXY to about 50,000 people in the Middlesboro and Pineville areas. Smith is confident that however someone managed to bring the tower down, it was no accident.
That one looks like it was rammed by a vehicle. This one here, possibly with the pressure being pulled that way, had snapped everything and the tower fell.
Tonight, Smith's family-owned business is trying to pick up the pieces. The tower and its location are not insured. This creates a big issue, getting funds for a new one.
It's going to be an expense.
How much?
Hypothetically, close to $75,000.
You can see several tire tracks and even pieces of the car were all left behind. And with a lot of evidence, Smith is optimistic that the person responsible will get caught.
This wasn't a game. I mean, if they thought, hey, let's tear that tower down just for the heck of it, for the fun of it. No, you don't understand what you've done. This is a federal offense.
Covering the news in Bell County, Alexa Helwig, LEX 18 News.
We are 3 weeks from Election Eve and fresh off 2 high-profile visits. Kentucky's 6th district congressional race is at a fever pitch.
Claire Crouch spoke with LEX 18's political analyst Bob Babbage to take the temperature of things as we head into the home stretch.
What a week, what a show.
Get up! Take it back!
Unless you live under a rock, you know Kentucky got visits from both President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden within just about 36 hours of each other.
Remarkable to have that much attention on this race at this time.
Each of them throwing their weight behind their party's candidate in Kentucky's 6th congressional district race. Unprecedented attention, putting the Commonwealth in an even more prominent place in the political orbit. But the real question is, what do these high-profile visits mean for Andy Barr and Amy McGrath?
From a candidate perspective, you hope you have new volunteers today, new interest today, and a greater commitment that even if it's raining 3 weeks from now, you're going to go vote.
Bob Babbage, who attended both events, says each rally was chock full of thousands of supporters, many attending their first political rally. But overall, he says the race is just too close to call. The New York Times live polling still has it in a dead heat.
And you still have people who clearly haven't made their mind up, or at least that's what they tell posters.
Babbage says what it all comes down to now is execution and voter turnout.
Won't be long. We'll find out.
Covering the news in Lexington, Claire Crouch, LEX 18 News.
Well, still ahead, a purse was recently snatched from a car in Lexington, but the thief couldn't use what was inside.
We'll explain in tonight's LEX 18 Crime Stoppers next.